GoPro camera and other devices were seized by investigators as part of an ongoing investigation into money laundering. One of Mr. Hughes' lawyers, Ram Dean, said a pre-action letter was sent to the Ministry of National Security as well as the Attorney General's office yesterday morning, giving notice of a challenge to the detention of Hughes. The argument which is currently being made is that Hughes was working inclusive of planning to throw fundraisers on parties to cover legal costs when he did not have a permit to do so. The letter was addressed to the Chief Immigration Officer. The letter went on to state that in TNT, the Immigration Act governs the entry and stay of non-citizens. However, it is said the Act doesn't explicitly classify individuals entering the country for court-mandated travel or bail conditions. In more news, a man was gunned down outside his home at 7th Street in Barataria on the night of Sunday, the 8th of September 2024. According to CCTV footage of the incident, emerged from his home on his cell phone and appeared to be looking for the person on the other end of the line. On a video circulating on social media, Harris is seen walking up to the car where he was shot in the face at point blank while he lowered his head to speak with someone seated in the front passenger seat. He fell into a drain where he died and the suspects fled the scene. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward and assist them. In further stories, the daughter of the late former Prime Minister Basio Pandian, political leader of the Patriotic Front, made her claims that her political party is the only solution for this country where crime and hopelessness has overwhelmed the nation.
Everywhere we have been so far, the cries have been the same. We need a change. We are fed up. We don't have a regular supply of water. Poor drainage is causing flooding problems. Bad roads damaging our cars. High food prices, no jobs for the youth. Fed up of corruption, waiting on an HDC house for over 20 years. No representation from their MP or councillor. You know what I'm talking about. Sisters and brothers, you know, with all of those challenges we are facing on a daily basis, nothing is weighing more on our minds. Nothing frightens us more than crime. Gun violence, murder, home invasions, extortion, kidnapping, and people vanishing into thin air.
She also says the party is currently accepting prospective candidates for the upcoming general election. She explained that they are required to download a form from patrioticfront.com and then drop off the completed form to either its San Fernando or Chaguanas office. Nominees will then be screened. Meanwhile, in news, Hunter's search and rescue team has confirmed around 6 a.m. on Monday the body of a man was recovered on the coast of Blanchisseuse. The body has been identified as Anthony Charles of Erica Street, Laventil. Anthony got into difficulty while assisting relatives who got into difficulty while bathing at Sunflower Beach, Blanchisseuse on Sunday evening. The HSRT thanked the Blanchisseuse Police Station, the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, relatives, villagers and friends who conducted searches for Mr. Charles and extended condolences to his family. In more stories, new information that has hit all electricity consumers. It was reported that the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Company owns NGC over $4 billion and consumers will have to assist in repaying this as the government cannot at this time, meaning electricity rates may increase. The Minister Marvin Gonzalez, while addressing those in Charlottesville last week Friday, said taxpayers will have to pay more because if TNTech were called upon to pay that gas price of $4 billion, then someone has to pay for it. It will fall to you, the consumers, to pay for it because the government does not have the money to find $4 billion to pay NGC for that gas so that TNTech can generate electricity from cheap gas so that you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, can have affordable electricity. The minister further stated consumers in this country continue to pay the lowest for water and electricity. These statements were made after the RIC public consultation on the proposed increased rates and Cabinet's deliberations towards the proposed changes in electricity rates to be announced. Internationally, a bridge has collapsed and a bus was swept away by flooding as more rain fell on northern Vietnam from a former typhoon that has caused at least 59 deaths in the Southeast Asian country, state media reported. 9 people died during the typhoon, which made landfall in Vietnam on Saturday before weakening to a depression, and 50 others died during the consequent floods and landslides. The water levels of several rivers in northern Vietnam are dangerously high. A passenger bus carrying 20 people was swept into a flood stream by a landslide in mountainous Cao Bang province on Monday morning. Rescuers were deployed, but landslides blocked the path to where the incident took place. In Phu Tho province, rescue operations were continuing after a steel bridge over the engorged Red River collapsed Monday morning. Reports said 10 cars and trucks along with 2 motorbikes fell into the river. 3 people were pulled out of the river and taken to the hospital, but 13 others were missing. Several motorbikes and cars fell into the river, the initial reports said, adding that 3 people fished out of the river in ongoing rescue operations had been taken to the hospital. No casualties have yet been reported. On Sunday, a landslide killed 6 people, including an infant, and injured 9 others in Sapa Town, a popular trekking base known for its terraced rice fields and mountains. Overall, state media reported 21 deaths and at least 299 people injured from the weekend. Now let's take a look at the sports and the weather report. In sport, after a brilliant performance at the 2024 Paris Paralympic Games, Olympic athlete Akeem Stewart will be rewarded with $150,000, said the Ministry of Sport and Community Development via government's National Incentives and Rewards Framework. In a statement, Minister of Sport and Community Development Shamfa Lewis said Stewart's silver medal performance at the Games will be recognized. The ministry said in 2019, Akeem received $450,000 for his gold medal in the men's javelin and a silver in the men's discus at the 2016 Summer Paralympics. In 2020, he received $181,250 for achieving a gold medal in the discus and a silver medal in the javelin at the 2019 Pan American Games. And in 2024, he received $35,500 for his gold medal at the 2023 Pan American Games. Stewart won silver after a stellar performance at the 2024 Paris Paralympic Games, throwing a distance of 59.66 meters in the men's discus F64 final on his first attempt. In more sports, Trinidad and Tobago's men's senior national football team has arrived in Tobago for their CONCACAF Nations League match against French Guyana at the Dwight York Stadium on Tuesday. The Soca Warriors felt a heavy 4-0 defeat at the hands of Honduras on Friday and now face an uphill task of making it to the quarterfinals of the tournament. French Guyana earned a point from their opening game, drawing goalless with Jamaica at Kingston on the weekend. Interim national men's national team head coach Derek King emphasized the importance of Tuesday's match after the defeat against Honduras. And that's all for sport now. Let's take a look at your weather. Trinidad, Tobago and Grenada, partly cloudy periods with a few showers will likely interrupt generally fair conditions. There is a medium chance of these showers becoming heavy and or thundery at times in few areas. Tonight will be mostly settled despite a few lingering showers. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding may occur near heavy showers or thunderstorms. The remainder of the Lesser Antilles variably cloudy with intermittent showers and the isolated thunderstorm over some areas. In our temperature, last night we had a minimum temperature of 26 degrees in Trinidad and 28 degrees in Tobago. Our maximum temperature today is 33 degrees in Trinidad and 32 degrees in Tobago. Our seas are slight to moderate with waves between 1 to 1.5 meters up to 2 meters in the leewards and open waters and below 1 meters in sheltered areas. Recapping the headlines, Christmas list to be deported. Man shot dead in Barataria. Patriotic Front says they are ready. Body found that was missing at sea. $4 billion the TNTech gas bill that citizens must assist with. And internationally, Vietnamese storm death toll rises to 59. And that's all for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm Chanaka Phipps. Do have a mesmerizing Monday.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.